Seeing the desolate scene at the Zhang family, Xiao felt a sense of satisfaction. The other day, when he killed those few people, he inadvertently pushed the disaster onto the Wang family. As the head of the Wang family, Wang Qizing naturally understood the implications of Zhang Heikong's words, but he showed no fear. After all, both the Zhang and Wang families were top-tier families in Canglan, and if they were to clash, neither would back down. The atmosphere became tense. The heavy atmosphere spread, making many people hesitant to speak, and some even held their breath. Seeing the two major families confront each other, Xiao seemed to smell a whiff of gunpowder and couldn't help but curl his lips into a slight smile. He then shifted his gaze to the Wang family and began to search for Wang Fenglan's figure. In the Wang family's group, Wang Fenglan stood proudly, his face filled with joy and excitement. With his strength, he was confident that he could defeat all the young disciples of the Zhang family. And today, he was bound to join the Xiao Sect. Just as the atmosphere became tense, an elderly man in white slowly walked down the main road. The old man had white hair and a youthful face. His expressionless face and white robes exuded an indescribable aura. As soon as he appeared, Zhang Heikong and Wang Qizing both noticed and quickly stood up to turn and look. Many people followed their gaze. The old man, under the watchful eyes of so many people, walked leisurely and calmly. Seeing this, the heads of the Zhang and Wang families hurriedly went forward to greet him, saying, "Head of the Zhang family, Zhang Heikong, greets Elder Yan. Head of the Wang family, Wang Qizing, greets Elder Yan." The old man was none other than Elder Yan Zi of the Xiao Sect, who had been sent to Canglan City to recruit disciples. Seeing the two family heads bow so low, many of the onlookers were shocked. "Who is this old man? Even the heads of the two major families have to lower their status to greet him. You don't know? This is the elder sent by the Xiao Sect to recruit disciples. Even if the heads of the two major families' fathers came, they would still bow and scrape. That makes sense. No wonder." Seeing the elder with his air of mystique and depth, Xiao knew he was no ordinary person. In response to the two family heads' greetings, Yanzi's expression remained unchanged, still cold and indifferent, and he said indifferently, "Everyone is here. Let's start the competition right away." The two family heads nodded and said in unison, "Please, Elder Yan, take your seat." After that, two disciples brought a chair to the center, facing the arena, with the two major families on either side. Zhang Heikong returned to his seat and said to the Grand Elder Zhang Hanhai, "Let's start." After receiving the order, Zhang Hanhai walked directly onto the arena and said loudly, "This competition is divided into 2 rounds. In the first round, there will be 2 battles, with each family sending 2 disciples to fight on the arena. The winners will advance to the next round. In the second round, the 2 winners will compete, and the winner will be the champion of this competition. The rules are on the arena. Only the outcome is decided, not life or death. If anyone uses deadly moves, they will be disqualified. If there are no objections from both sides, the competition will begin. Please send the first disciple from each side to the arena." As soon as he finished speaking, from the Zhang family, the son of the third elder, Zhang Hongyuan, walked onto the arena, releasing his 8th stage qi condensation cultivation. From the Wang family, the son of the grand elder, Wang Jingwu, also at the 8th stage qi condensation, was sent. For a moment, the arena was filled with murmurs. Both are at the 8th stage key condensation. Who do you think will win? No matter who wins this round, the ultimate winner will definitely be the Wang family. After all, Zhang Xiaoyuan, the most capable person in the Zhang family, has already met his end at the hands of a tiger. Now, the strongest young disciple in the Zhang family is only at the 8th stage key condensation, while Wang Fenglin of the Wang family is at the 9th stage key condensation. Who in the Zhang family can match him? Amidst the heated discussions, most people believe that the Wang family would win in the end. The head of the Wang family, Wang Qizing, had a delighted look on his face, his eyes shining as if he could already see Wang Fenglin joining the Xiao Sect. The Zhang family, on the other hand, had a grim expression, looking at the arena with displeasure. They thought to themselves, "If Xiaoyuan were here, would you be so arrogant? I must find out who killed Xiaoyuan and make their entire family pay." The competition begins. The Grand Elder loudly announced, his voice echoing throughout the arena, and then he leaped off the stage. Instantly, the murmurs below gradually subsided, and everyone focused on the two combatants about to clash. Only Elder Yan remained calm, his eyes half closed as if about to fall asleep, clearly uninterested in this level of battle. On the arena, neither of the two was in a hurry to attack. Instead, they stood in place, sizing each other up, seemingly trying to find a weakness. Whoosh! The sound of swords being drawn was crisp and clear. The two figures instantly engaged in combat, their swords and knives clashing, sparks flying. The two auras clashed fiercely, neither giving way, and both were evenly matched, neither able to gain the upper hand for a moment. Watching the two combatants, Xiu watched intently, hoping to find a weakness. He thought to himself, "If I were facing these attacks, how would I react? How would I counter?" In his mind, he continuously simulated himself fighting against them, performing the corresponding moves to counterattack. And as the others watched the figures wielding swords and knives, their expressions became tense, their hearts tightening. The two combatants, one with a knife and one with a sword, exchanged blows, neither gaining the upper hand. Bang! The sound of intense collision rang out, and the two figures finally separated, standing on opposite sides of the arena. For a moment, their eyes met, gazes clashing in the air. Whoosh! A sharp sound echoed. The sharp sword in Zhang Hongyuan's hand was unexpectedly sheathed, leaving everyone puzzled. What's going on? Why is Zhang Hongyuan sheathing his sword? Is he conceding? You don't understand. Zhang Hongyuan is about to use the Zhang family's martial technique, the sword drawing technique. Upon hearing this, the man showed a look of sudden realization and continued to watch the struggle on the arena with serious attention. Suyu's gaze focused at this moment. His current sword drawing technique was not yet proficient enough or fierce enough, and he needed to observe more. Members of the two major families also directed their gazes to the arena. Only Elder Yan remained relaxed and arrogant, not even fully opening his eyes. Clearly, he had no interest in the struggle between these low-level practitioners. Wang Jingwu, seeing Zhang Hongyuan sheathing his sword, narrowed his eyes, took a step back, and gripped the handle of his knife, his internal spiritual energy circulating silently, emitting an invisible aura around him. Let's settle it with one move. Zhang Hongyuan burst out, his legs suddenly exerting force as he charged towards Wang Jingwu, his hand gripping the hilt of the sword, spiritual energy already fully charged. waiting for the right moment to burst forth. Just as I wished. Wang Jingwu's expression remained unchanged as he charged forward, a flash of cold light appearing on the edge of his knife, making people tremble with fear. In the next moment, Zhang Hongyuan drew his sword, spiritual energy bursting forth, the sword key suddenly coalescing and rushing forward, the cold light startling many of the spectators. Sword drawing technique. Wang Jingwu showed no fear, the steel knife in his hand gathering formidable momentum, the knife light flashing by, a loud shout echoing. Void slash. Bang! The knife and sword clashed head-on, like a needle against a grain of wheat. Crack! A crisp sound of cracking rang out, the broken knife falling to the ground. Whoosh! The sword blade sliced through, leaving a sword mark on Wang Jingwu's chest, blood gushing out, staining his clothes red. Zhang Hongyuan stood still, maintaining his sword-drawing posture, blood dripping from the tip of the sword, his expression cold and merciless. Good. Yang Heikong spoke directly, finally showing a long-awaited smile, a heavy breath escaping his chest. Seeing Wang Qizing's smug face upon arrival had already made him feel aggrieved. With this sword stroke, he finally let out his pent-up frustration. The expression on the faces of the elders behind him also eased somewhat, especially the Grand Elder, who showed a meaningful smile. If it weren't for the sharp sword he had replaced for Zhang Hongyuan yesterday, the outcome of this battle might have been uncertain. The two were evenly matched, but Zhang Hongyuan's sword was sharper and stronger, giving him an advantage. On the Wang family side, their faces darkened visibly, their eyes glaring at the smiling Zhang Heikong. Several disciples hurriedly came forward to stop the bleeding and bandage Wang Jingwu's wounds. After suffering the blow, Wang Jingwu's face turned pale and lifeless, his entire body weakened, enduring the pain and saying, "Age his sword." However, before he could finish, his eyes closed, and he fainted. Elder Yan remained calm, his face expressionless, showing no interest. If it weren't for the sect's requirement, he would not have come to this small place. Now, he only wanted to quickly decide the first place and return to the sect to complete his task. However, Su Yu's eyes showed a fiery enthusiasm. That sword drawing technique just now, it was like this. Su Yu had not practiced the sword drawing technique for long, only just grasping the basics. The core disciples of the Zhang family had all practiced for 3 to 5 years, naturally understanding its subtleties better than Su Yu. Therefore, Su Yu must observe carefully, learn from their experience, and improve his own sword drawing technique to become stronger. The first match, Zhang family's Zhang Hongyuan wins. Next, the second match, both disciples enter the arena. The Grand Elder of the Zhang family announced loudly from the arena. As soon as the words were spoken, Wang Fenglan of the Wang family walked towards the arena with a smile. In terms of realm and strength, he was confident in defeating the opponent, whoever it might be. On the Zhang family side, Zhang Yuan walked onto the arena calmly. Zhang Yuan was robust, his eyes indifferent, showing no emotion, the sharp sword tightly gripped in his hand, standing still. The words of the family head still echoed in his mind. Remember, your task is to deplete Wang Fenglan's internal spiritual energy. Do not engage him in direct combat, or you will only end up in a sanbai. At this moment, Zhang Heikong's smile also faded, his face tightening. The victory or defeat of the Zhang family depended on Zhang Yuan. In contrast, Wang Fenglan was smiling broadly, standing loosely on the arena, looking at Zhang Yuan with disdain. Chi, just a mere 8th stage condensation realm, and you dare to challenge me? Zhang Yuan remained silent, his indifferent eyes fixed on Wang Fenglan. Wang Qizing, the head of the Wang family, warned. Fenglan, do not underestimate your opponent, take this seriously. Chi. Wang Fenglan showed a mocking smile at the corner of his mouth. Just a mere 8th stage condensation realm, do I need to take it seriously? If Zhang Xiaoyuan were here, I might show some respect, but now, ha.